So briefly, I'm going to touch on, I've mentioned the force plates, how you might assess it, and then some things you can do to track your progress if you don't have access to the force plates. But the reason it's important to assess is it allows you to get a baseline measure of where you're at. It allows you to track your progress, so how you're going from the start of your block to, say, 6 or 12 weeks in. And it also allows you to determine, do you have any deficits between left or right or from previous injuries? And, plyometrics essentially assessed using these highly accurate force plates. And we're very lucky that we're going to be getting the best ones that you can get in a retail setting when we open Athletes Edge Physiotherapy. So we're very excited there. We can measure a whole range of things. One jump can tell you things like jump height, how quickly you move, how explosive you move, the push phase of the movement, the landing phase of the movement, the time you're on the ground, and the symmetry between limbs. So one jump can tell you, hundreds of metrics. And a standardized assessment would typically look at some of those strength tests and some of the jump tests. Now, if you were to do it with us, and I'll tell you how you can do it yourself, but if you were to do a force plate assessment, these are some of the things you would want to look at. You would want to look at a double leg jump, probably a single leg jump or a single leg hop, a double leg drop jump, and maybe a single leg drop jump, and some pogos. And this will tell us things like your jump height, your ground contact time, your symmetry between left and right, and also a measure of your stiffness, which is your tendon's function, or your tendon's ability to be that spring that we spoke about before. We can actually measure that. Now, if you don't have access to force plates, you can do some measures yourself. It's important to know these are proxy measures, so they only give you one metric and the only example kind of overview, but you can still use them. And things like measuring your jump height yourself, you can do a self-measurement on the wall and track that. I mean, everyone's probably seen footage of the NBA Combine or the AFL Draft Combine where you do a jump and you tap the jump height. So you can do, like, it's called a Vertex jump tester. You can do things like that. There's some apps out there. There's an app called My Jump Lab, which does track and is somewhat accurate for measuring jump height. Or you can track your distance. So you might be able to, go, how long does it take me to jump from, what distance can I hop from, starting point to the end point, and measure that. And you might track that. So you could track things like jump height or distance as proxy measures. May not be as accurate. There's some issues with reliability, but can be a useful way for you to track it if you don't have access to the highly accurate force plates. So as I mentioned, one of the things that we're really excited to be doing is this high quality assessment and testing, evidence-based, criteria-based. If you signed up already, you will get access. You will get told when we start doing some of the bookings for these. Something that I think every runner will benefit from.